quick video of my DIY Projecta dual battery installation in the back of my ute. I'll stand back and you can have a little bit of an overview. Mazda BT50, brand new, 2018, and this is the Projecta box and the Projecta 25 amp DC-DC charger. And I'll show you how I installed it. The wire comes from up there, but what we'll do first is we'll go to the front and actually show you how the wire has been run. The main wire is this one here, 13.5 millimeters square. Hey Ronnie, how are you? So it's a proper battery wire, and I'll show you the front. This is where that same wire begins. Now this was, I ordered 6 meters, but they actually supplied me 6.75 meters, so 6 meters and 75 centimeters. I used all of that except this piece here, so this is about 30 centimeters. So if you order a wire to do this same run in this same car, I recommend you order yourself at least 6.5 meters. So from the positive, the first thing we have is a Narva Maxi fuse holder. And the reason I did this all myself was because I wanted to learn how to make all these connections, all this battery cable and you know, crimping of lugs and the shrink wrap and all that. I wanted to know how to do that myself. So first of all, of course, there's a fuse, and this is a 50 amp fuse. And here is where it then connects to the main wire. That was the bus. So this piece here is 8 millimeter square thickness, and from this connection here it is this wire, which is 13 millimeter square. Can you see that? Yeah. So then it goes with a bit of a loop in here, and then you see that it runs underneath there in that hose. This is the protective hose that I put around it. Now that is high pressure hose, so basically compressor hose. So it's very tough, very strong, it's reinforced, and it just tucks from here past the fuse box, and then it goes down underneath there. So what I'll do now is I'll jump under the car, Ronnie will follow me, and I'll show you what that looks like. Up again. All in one take. It comes down from there, and then by the front wheel. We're by the front wheel here. Hey Ronnie. It comes down from there. It comes out under here, and that's where it then for the first time disappears into the chassis. Ronnie, go away. And that is, by the way, the fuel cutoff or pump for the diesel particle filter. I'm not impressed with how exposed that is on these new cars. Anyway, this is where the hose goes into the chassis. There's the tank, and it only runs from here to where you see that bolt protruding, so only about a meter. So it goes in here, and then it comes out there, which is right at the end of the step. Yeah, there's the step. Here's the rear wheel. That's where it comes out, and then I'll climb. Oh. So it comes out there, and then this is where we are, by the side of the car, and it runs here between the body and the cab, and it comes up here, and then it goes in. Now that's probably the only part I'm less impressed with how I did it. I just drilled a big hole. I didn't have a proper washer or something like that nice cute little rubber thing that the factory used for the canopy light. So I just drilled a big hole. It was too big, so I put another piece of radiator hose around that. Then there is a P-clip holding it all down. That one there. And then I'll just walk around and jump in the car. And then it's just a Wire sits here. Hold on. And the wire sits here, goes through this hole that was already there, and because that would chafe, I've put hose around it, and then with a loop into this red plug. Now all these connections here on the outside of the box I've made myself, and that was part of the project, so to speak, because I wanted to learn how to do it. So yeah, these red connectors, red Anderson connectors, means main input from the main battery, the one that I just showed you, this wire here. Then the black one, earth, which is the main earth for the whole box, is actually terminated on this bolt here, and that is a bolt that holds the cargo eye, and that is a good earth. We measured it, and no voltage drop whatsoever in this entire circuit. So we measured it at the main battery, then we measured it right here on the wires without the dual battery box, and yeah, absolutely no voltage drop, so that's a good earth. And also I've just now connected up this Projecta charger as the final step, and again, that one connects a good circuit, so it's also happy. So this is the input side of the box. Yeah, there's the light. Red is the main battery, and then there's two green ones. The green ones are solar panels, and this one is just a parallel onto the first one. So you see that this jumper and that jumper, that's just for parallel. Then on the other side is 3 outputs that I've put on, which will be for the fridge and for my compressors, because I have an inflatable boat, which is a Thundercat, so I have a high volume, low pressure output compressor, so that will go on there. And then I have a car compressor, tire compressor, which is the other way. It's low volume, high pressure, so I also have that one. This is Merit. I'll have lights in there. Where's my... Here's the plug, so I'll wire that up for a work light on the back of the car, so when we're setting up camp on our Uluru trip we can actually see what we're doing. This is a Siggy charger that was already on the box, and I'll use that for a USB plug, and then I have 3 or 4 USB ports there. So the most important thing is that it works, so let's put the pump in, or pick any one of them. Put that on, press on, it's working. I used proper Anderson plugs, actual Anderson brand. Can you see that? There you go. And I bought a bunch of these pull handles as well, because that's actually really practical, especially because I've put the outlet plugs really close together, which means you can't get your fingers on it, so you need these pull handles to do that. Imagine that there's 3 of these next to each other, you wouldn't be able to pull it out. So I'll show you some of the essential tools for this little job. First of all, and again, that was part of the reason I wanted to do this whole installation myself, was I wanted to learn how to do 12 volt stuff, so I bought the tools, which is this ratchet. Most used is this one here, the lug dies, cable lock, crimp. I use that a lot. I already had this one. This is good for the smaller size wires for stripping. You need a gas torch. I have this Dremel, and you need to get yourself a box of this stuff. I bought this at Whitworth's. This is really good. Heat shrink. It is the adhesive lined heat shrink, so there's glue inside, and when you warm it up, it actually glues itself to your cable and to your lugs as well. There's my box of goodies that sits in the you know, all these Anderson posts, and I have more Anderson plugs, and yeah, there's a few more things to be done here. That's it. That's my dual battery installation done and working. And next step is actually to wire up some solar panels and get that to work as well.